The Mystic Meals Podcast.
The Mystic Meals Podcast.
With your host, Chef Nikki Meow. We talk about food, life. Oh, and we also talk about...
Oh, yeah!
Baby. You better be ready. Right now, here's your host, Chef Nikki Meow. Get it, baby.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to a very dark and sticky episode of the Mystic Meals Podcast with me, your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Chef Nikki Meow. And with me at the table this evening is a very dear friend of mine, the master of the dark realm himself, gothic illusionist, Ron Fitzgerald. I shall bring him to the stage. We know the deal here. The forehead can comes in because I can't see for shit.
Hi. There we go. Everybody in. Put on your 3D glasses. Yes.
We did it. Hello there,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Hi.
Hi. How are
Good
you?
evening. Greetings and salutations.
Evening.
Yeah.
I was hoping you to do the whole thing in the English accent because that's very Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd. And
Yes.
well, then we can talk about making meat pies out of people.
Meat pies. Yes. Out
Yeah.
of Lord knows what. The mystery meat.
The mystery meat. I think
The
there's a lot
mystery
of that
meat that
out
we've
there
all
now.
ingested
Sadly, there's a lot
at
of
some
mystery
point.
meat.
That'll be the name of the episode.
And I mean that in
Mystery
every way possible. You're
Mystery
welcome.
Meat with Maestro Ron Fitzgerald. Yes. I love it. We're off to a pleasant start.
Yes, we are. It's always a good
Indeed.
time.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. So how is everything in your realm, darling?
It is lovely. I'm working on my book. You just, you are now a published author.
Very, very familiar with that madness. Yes.
Oh yeah. So I greatly underestimated how long the edit was going to take me. Because it's a memoir.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of dark, sticky fun. It's called Monstrous Magic. And it's a memoir about my life and all my battles through my health and everything else on what it took to
to get
make
here.
dark, sticky fun for the world. Yeah.
Right.
And how it came about. People are often surprised at how I got started because it was a long time ago. And
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was birds, bunnies, and bad tuxedos. Bad formal wear. So that's
And you have
that's
the
the
best
place I
hairstyle
started.
ever.
And now I'm the master of the dark realm, and I
Yes.
eat razor blades and cut people's heads off and
Yes,
fun-
that you do.
fun things like that.
And serve people brains, apparently, from
I do.
your cooking videos that I've
I
seen.
do. I have a few of those. I think they're fun. Like Hannibal Lecter and Vincent Price, and you. I like to spend a little time in the kitchen,
Just a little
and
bit.
I am good with whipping up a mildly alcoholic Jello brain, or some jingle bats.
Yes.
for the holidays, things like
Holidays,
that. Those
keep it
are a couple of
festive. Yes.
the
Yes.
things that I put up that are food related, spooky food related things, and I just think they're fun, and I like
Yes.
that. I had a lot of good cooks in my life. My mom could cook, my dad could cook after they got divorced, and he had to cook, and then
Right.
he started to
He'd
cook
have
a
a
lot
choice.
more. And my grandmother was my dad's mom was
Okay.
a great cook. Yeah, and a baker. She
nice.
made cakes and everything. She was in
Wow.
down in the hometown newspaper for it and everything. I mean,
Oh, wow.
yeah, she made a splash, so she was known
Nice.
for it.
Well, and so have you, darling. Quite the dark and sticky splash on the world.
Yes, I have in a very different way. I made my splash in a very different way. Mine's a bloody splash. It's
Yes, it's a bit red, but that's all right. We love the color.
it is. It's all gooey. It's a bit gooey and
It's a
it's
bit
all
gooey,
red and there's
a
bits of
very
things in it,
sticky. Very, very sticky, but we love it. We love it.
Yes,
So-
thank you.
so for
Yes.
those that,
Well, that's why we get along so well, because you certainly have a love for the dark side and the
I
spooky
do.
and the
I
dark
do.
and the sticky. So
Very
yay,
much so.
yeah.
Very much.
And
I
you,
can't help it.
With
I've
the
always
orgy in the
been
pan,
that
how could
kinda
I ever say no to
crazy
you?
meow.
Please, come on.
I absolutely love it. So for those that are
yeah.
tuning in, why don't we roll it back a little bit, and why don't you give us a very brief story of how you became master of the dark realm? How did you even get set on this path?
I was a kid when I was 8. I got a box of magic, a magic kit, and for some reason I just loved it, and I knew it was for me. It was like one of those things. It was like writing the book. Now I feel like I'm called to tell the story, to write the book. In the beginning, when I opened that box of magic, I just felt like it was for me. I felt called to it, and I continued to pursue it. I mean, I talked to a lot of people over the years that had a magic kit or watched magic or did a little bit and stuff.
Yeah.
But very few of us pursue it as more, either to perform, either as a hobby, or certainly even fewer as a profession, or to do something really weird and different and take it off into the dark realm. With what they're doing. Because so in the beginning, it was like I mentioned earlier, it was very traditional magic, and that's what I was taught, and I was just emulating that. But I got to a point where I didn't want to emulate art anymore. I wanted to make art. I wanted to make it my own, put my signature on it,
Sure. Make it your own.
And at that point, my friend Darlene said to me, she's like, "You're way more interesting off stage than on," meaning that I had not put enough of myself,
your true self, into your performance.
It wasn't. I guess now a huge buzz phrase now, as you know, it's all over the world, the internet. Authenticity. They want people to be real, And I always found that a kind of a challenge for me, simply because I'm in the business of mystery, and I like people who you don't know everything about. I like looking at somebody going, "What the hell do they do that? What is behind?" And then they can reveal that in their art or in interviews like this, the things. I like a little bit of mystery, and especially if you're in the business of mystery, it's baked into it. The I just took the things that I loved and slowly started. I let it evolve, and that was back in the 80s, and my penchant was I love horror films. I love sci-fi. I love weird shit. I just love weirdness.
Exactly.
And so I started to go, well, it was the 80s, so the fashion was fun, the music was great, and I just went all in and said, let's roll. Let's
go for it. Yep.
Yeah, and I did that for a while. I was doing both for a little while, and then I went all in on the weirdness. And that was challenging, because then all your old business runs away going, "Oh, that's too weird. That's too creepy for us. We can't, and that's fine." And then the challenge is learning where are the venues, where do you take that? How do you wrap that up?
when you're starting to really kind of figure out and get your footing with any type of like performance art or anything, putting yourself out there, period, it takes you a minute to kind of get your bearings with how you actually want to do that and what feels comfortable for you to do without feeling too much like you're putting on the show all the time, even though you are. Right? Like it is entertainment, it is bravado. There's a lot to that, but you're also trying to convey that this is really who you are. Like, this is me, right? So
that is exactly right. You're trying to, and that's what I loved about making my own art about it, not just emulating a style, a kind of art, but to actually make art out of it. You are expressing yourself. Your inner feelings, your opinions, even your take on something, and it's coming from you and your life. It's like I have a castle illusion, and I wrap the girl in chains, and I kiss her, and I lock her in a big castle, and it's got a drawbridge on it. It's very cool. I built it myself a long time ago. And nobody else has one, and I do it to Tainted Love, and it's all about my relationship. So. I mean, and so it gets personal like that. It's like Picasso, when he was doing the Cupid thing, he was painting many of the female figures in those paintings are his lovers, his relationships. So I love that idea of being able to kind of show
even
that
then
off.
They had situationships.
Yeah. So that's just one example, and some of it is I like the idea of just freaking people out sometimes, which is like the razor blades or the vampire's kisses.
Doing the things that like get under their skin.
And people love that. They love some visceral, dangerous weirdness. They love anything that looks like your ass could get hurt. And they.
Or for some people, it's just the sight of blood altogether, or needles, or just it doesn't take a lot for people to just like
it gets into the realm of sideshow at that point. And it is just go play with dangerous shit, and let us out, and we want to watch and see how that works out for us.
Right, exactly. Let's see how that turns out. Exactly.
There's a voyeurism in some of that kind of material, which is fun. I'm fine with it, but it does seem more than like the regular show and the illusions. Some of those things like that seem intensely voyeuristic.
Yes,
because of that element.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, the curiosity factor, number one. I think when people are seeing that kind of performance, like the brain is trying to process what's happening. Is this real or not? Like you're already kind of fighting within yourself to kind of believe what you're seeing, right? The illusion.
Well, and that's it. And people ask me all the time, are those real razor blades? And I show that they're real razor blades. I've even cut myself, cut my thumb, cut my hands, and and bled in the middle of the routine. And so when they ask, it's like, they're real razor blades. There is a bit of sideshow and illusion in there, but they're real and do get cut more than I wanted to when I'm doing that.
More than I'm willing to admit.
More than nothing like a good solid blood sacrifice in the middle of your show.
Yes, you have to make the blood sacrifice to the gods every once in a while to show your thanks, your gratitude. It happens. We get cut, we get burned.
Hecate just demands a little blood, and I'm like, okay, fine. Does it have to be now?
A little bit. It's okay. I could spare it.
Fine.
It's fine. A small price to pay. As long
as it is a small price to pay. It is a small price. I feel like I've given that in other parts of my life in spades, but if you want a little more, fine.
Yes.
Fine.
Exactly.
Sure. Okay.
But I think, something that you and I have always had in common is the way that we kind of incorporate our personality and our true selves into the work that we're putting out there. And it's something that doesn't always kind of land with people, because I think that we're ahead of the curve a lot with certain things. And, it takes people a minute to kind of catch up to the concept of what it is you're trying to do and present, because you're doing something, an art form that's very familiar, but in an extremely unique way. So because you're putting your own on it, I think that's what makes it special and unique.
It is. And it's like you and the audience, it's like we're meeting in the middle. It's like we're figuring out how to present us to them. Yeah. In terms of personality and putting us into what we do, I think it's a matter of us letting it evolve and figuring out how we're going to present us to the audience, and then bringing the audience into us. That helps bring them to us, and just the longer you do it, the more of an audience you tend to gather.
Right.
And then
I think people latch on to what is familiar. Mm-hmm.
But I know because you're doing the same thing. You're putting a personality and a style onto food that people would not necessarily expect. And I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think as with you in our life's journey, you kind of get to a point where you want to create the way that you feel. You want to share your point of view of the world with people, and in a way that it just kind of becomes, this is me and this is who I am and how I do it and why I do it. And it makes sense to me. So I feel like if it makes sense to me, eventually it'll make sense to somebody else. Which I think the identifying factor is just the food itself and how you present what you're doing, and giving them that visual appeal of going, ooh, what is that? And piquing their interest and having them lean in. Like, how does he swallow the razor blades? How does he do that? How do you saw a woman in half? Like, those are like, as many times as most of us have probably seen the behind the scenes documentaries, we still don't to us, there's still that part of the brain that wants to believe that it's real, that no, he actually did cut her in half,
Well, so there is a little bit of that I think that's why some people are so very analytical about magic. When they see it, it's a puzzle. They want to figure it out. My job is to make them no longer give a damn about that. So, and that's why I think the dark trappings of the gothic aesthetic and horror and everything immediately, for me anyway, lend itself to magic, and I think the dark aesthetic and those dark illusions, they just work for me, and that's a way for me to express things through that then. And you're right. I mean, there are people that then, want to be wowed by that. I think it's more like magic is really special effects live. We don't have the option or we can't edit it because it's not post-production.
It's
you
there.
have to do it live. So you have to set it up and do it live. But I think it is very much like special effects live. That's exactly what it is. Or what they would call in the movie business, practical effects. It's happening there on stage. So it's a practical effect, like it would be in camera. And I like that. And I've done magic in some of the horror movies I've been in, things like that, especially Dark Realm. But even in Blood Gnome, I did the needle in the neck, the vampire's kiss illusion in that. So it's very fun, and it's interesting to see how different people approach it. But some people are very analytical about it, and like I say, my job is to make enough of a statement and make it good enough where people no longer care, or even if everybody knows a little bit of how a piece of magic or an illusion works, or have an idea. So everybody knows a little bit of something. So everybody can figure something out, I think. And that's fine, because at the end of the day, did you entertain them or not? Did you express yourself in a way they could relate to or not? And that at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is much or more than the illusions. I mean, well, they're coming to see, an illusion show, a dark illusion show. So you have to deliver on that. But I think the other elements are just as important.
Yeah, definitely. Because there is like a lot of like suspension of disbelief, like you got to throw all that out the window and go into it just kind of accepting what you get in front of you. And I think those of us that grew up with that kind of like magic and whimsy and the interest in that, I think that'll always be there, that you could always kind of tap into that kind of childlike wonder of like, how does he do that? And how did he do that? And, because you're so smooth with it at this point, because you have so much experience with it. Like there's what's the one that you do with the crystal ball that you go back
floating
and forth?
Ball?
Yeah, the floating ball. Yeah.
I love that thing. I've done it since I was a kid. It's kind of an old school illusion. But I love doing it, and the audience loves it. I've got a couple of different videos on Instagram, and one of them, where I'm performing it, and got a little 9 Inch Nails going in the background and everything. And that thing got 1.3 million views on there. They love that freaking illusion. And I know it's that illusion that they like so much, because I did it again. There's one up as we speak right now. And it's over 900,000. It's headed to 1 million. And it's my tribute to David Bowie as the Goblin King in Labyrinth. And I dressed up. I put the wig on. I had Audra Meisner come over and do my makeup for it and everything. I had the wardrobe. I'm skinny enough to pull it off. So I did that. So I did the Goblin King. And well, the great thing was it triggered a lot of people. Some people love it, and it's nostalgia. And there's a lot of dudes. I mean, and you can't play the Goblin King without the Bowie bulge. So I did a little voodoo and made sure that was kind of front and center. And that's all the dudes wanted to talk about. And it wasn't the women. The dudes wanted to talk about that, going, man's got a hog, dude's got a hog. I'm like,
what's up?
Nice to know where you're looking.
That's
nice to know I can distract you with that while I'm doing everything else.
Exactly.
So,
well, that's what happened.
I'm very amused by that one. So
that's the first thing I said. I was in the comments already. I was like, really?
Yep. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I just did it for fun, because it's the 40th anniversary of Labyrinth this year. And Bowie's been gone 10 years now, and he ascended back into the stars.
Hard to believe. That's crazy.
That's just with the mess we're in now. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so I did it. I thought, well, it's a good time. It struck a chord with people. I mean, it did well. It did well on TikTok as well. It didn't go as crazy as it's done on Instagram. For some reason, they love their nostalgia over there.
They do.
I think the audience demographic is right on there, and it hit the people that really knew and remembered Labyrinth and everything.
Yeah.
So
I think pop culture and on a whole is doing really, really well on Instagram.
Well, it really is too. Yeah. I mean, 80s and 90s nostalgia is crazy.
Alive and well. Yeah. On that platform.
I see that, and everybody's got the big red that for the Gen X, that they're part of Gen X in their bios and everything now. I think that's fun. I think that's cool. I can, I'm like,
yeah.
On,
Yeah, exactly. It was a crazy time to come up, and like we always joke about MySpace.
We love our culture, and we're the ones out there consuming other things now. So that's why I like to incorporate some of the music is from that I use, and then there's other elements that I like a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely a renaissance though of going back to the old fashions of just everything that we grew up with, because I think people, again, like harkening back to authenticity, I think people they just really want to know that it's real, that it's not fake. It's like, this is actually from something that's tangible to me, that I remember. So I think it's important to keeping the art form alive, because I don't really see a lot of people doing it, anymore. At least not that's popping up for me around where I travel on social media. So how do you feel about where it is now, like the realm of magic, illusionism, and that type of art form performance? Like, what's your take on where it's at today?
Well, everything has a cycle to it. Everything goes kind of in and out of fashion for a while. It seems to be on an upswing again. I mean, there's magic on television, and there's Penn and Teller's Fool Us, Masters of Illusion, things like that. You see magic on other places. So and then a lot of us performing online to show people, so people can discover us. And find us on there. So it does. It seems to. It's something that never really goes away. There's always magic out there, and there's always performers and everything. But I think as part of pop culture, it has an ebb and a flow like a lot of other things. And it seems to be, on a rise again. It seems to be kind of
a resurgence.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think from your side? Are you seeing more of it? Do you feel like there's more of it out there?
I feel like people are really digging deep into creativity altogether. I'm just noticing that there's like a definite frequency of people really tapping into their own interests and the things that they like, and whether it's horror films, crocheting, cooking, painting, spoken word poetry. Like, I think people are really just kind of ready to be a part of it. Right.
Well,
like not to just be a spectator anymore. Like,
it does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And it's great because we see a lot of it, and then we go out and look around and you can discover it because we can all be online and show people what we're doing. And I love it now. I think because of the ick in the world, which is very ick at the moment.
Yeah, it's very
here
it is.
In the States, it's a shit show. And
it is.
It is. And I think one of the most rebellious things we can do, especially for those of us creatives, and that's all different creatives, is to make art and make a statement and do your thing and be audacious enough to just say, hey, this is me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this in the midst of all of this. And it's not... You're not ignoring any of the ick because you can't anymore. If you are, you've really got your head stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
So without having to stop and examine that, because that's not what we're trying to do.
Well, I mean, it's speaking to what's happening, the climate of where we're at right now. Like people, again, like that's kind of what I mean about people searching for something real and something outside of it, because it's not that you don't see it or like whether you acknowledge it or not, openly, privately,
Yeah.
like whatever.
Right.
I think it's just time to kind of accept what is and who you are, and that you have to go on and you have to continue to live your life, put your best foot forward.
Well, it is.
You know.
Well, yes, absolutely. Because, like I said, being creative is one of the most rebellious things you can do, amongst other things. Everybody has to stand up and say no to it, because it'll come for you no matter who you are. Eventually, if you let this bullshit roll. So say no, stop it, do whatever you can. I don't care if that's sharing a video, or whatever it is, but then certainly expressing, creating something is rebellious as well, because they don't like that. They don't give a damn about art. They do not care about it. So keep making art.
Exactly. Keep expressing yourselves.
Express yourself and do it, because they don't like that. They don't want that. They don't care about it.
Right.
It's power for power's sake, and whatever gets in the way of that, they don't like it. They don't want people to express their opinions themselves.
We can't fight it
trampling
with
all
the
over
same.
that. Anyway,
we can't fight that with the same weapons that they're using either. So we really have to be even more creative in our rebellion of things. So and I'm here for it. I love it. I love to see it. And that's what I mean about seeing people online. Like, everyone's just kind of taking to it and being like, okay, if I'm not safe enough, or if I don't feel safe enough to take to the streets, I'm going to take to my computer, I'm going to take to my phone, and I'm going to just be crazy, and I'm just going to do whatever and just say to hell with it, and whatever happens. So
and that's the thing.
Stay bold.
We're connecting and we're communicating and we're expressing to one another. And that is a great thing, because there's a lot of, it's the collective energy, in that. And that's why none of us like what's going on, because it's trying to control and suppress, humanity.
And we can't be contained. We cannot be contained at this point. Like, there's just, there's no.
It can't. No.
Good luck.
Exactly. That train left station eons ago.
A long time ago.
And we'll always find a way. And that's why, I mean, because when we are making art and expressing ourselves with whatever it is, whether it's food or magic and illusion or music or acting, other forms, fine art, if you're painting, drawing, tattooing, piercing, whatever you're doing.
Then, whatever it is for you.
Well, it's said, because it's saying something about us and what we want to express and put into the world. And how then through that art we fit in to the world with our own unique. Everybody's individuated. We all have our own part to play. Some of us are louder and weirder than others. Some of us not. Everybody's got something to contribute.
Absolutely.
And that's what I like about the internet and all of this energy as well, is because people are contributing, and we need it. The world needs that. They need you and me and you watching to do your thing and put it out there.
We do. Absolutely. It's definitely a call to arms for sure, in a way that I think is unexpected. Again, like with people just, stepping forward and being creative and kind of tapping into an interest that maybe they've had for a long time, and we're kind of reluctant to step into, but now it's like, hey, you know what, like, I got nothing to lose, like, it's really kind of like, well, to hell with it. Like,
well, I mean, we do have something to lose. If we get to the end of our life and look back and go, I really wish I would have done what I wanted to do, that's where you lose a little bit, I mean, so I think like you do, go all in, make your art, do your thing. If it doesn't work, you can adjust. If you need to do something else, or you feel like you want to do something else, do it. But don't let anybody else ever tell you you can't do it.
Exactly. And like I said before, like, no one can control you but you, like, no one's in control of that, of how you think, how you feel, like what you want to do and what you want to put out into the world. So, just shut your eyes and keep doing it, because like you said, I need it, you need it, they need it. Now more than ever, because we definitely need something new, or at least, reinventing something in a way that we can kind of repackage it and present it so that other people kind of step forward with like, oh, like I'm into that too. Like, you know, like we make them interested in the history of what it is.
Well, it's when they start talking about niches and this and that. I mean, like, you know, I mean, and even that, you can redefine that, or some are not, they are specific, but they don't have to confine you.
Yeah.
There's, you know, there's a wide berth of places you can go even within a niche, but that's good in terms of who your art, you know, having an idea of who your art that appeals to. Who do I want to show this to? Who do I want to share it with? Who's going to dig this? You know, and they're the weird, dark, cool kids that, you know, other artists and other people who just like art.
How when you put something out there, the variations of people that step forward with interest in it, because it's not always the people that you expect, right? Like, okay, fine, like we're a bit more on the dark and spooky side, so one would assume that all of our friends are dark and spooky, and most of them are.
I mean, you know, like minds congeal. Absolutely. Yeah.
But I also have a very colorful mix of people from all over the place that you would never even think would be kind of into it. But it's something that they like, you know, and they enjoy and they take to. So it's always nice to see like how this kind of stuff that we do invites people, like who actually sits down at the table with us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and there's people who are very into that culture, and then people that are not so much, you know?
Yeah. And that's okay. They can.
That's great. No, that's great. I know a lot of people that they might like horror or something, but they're not necessarily, you know, into a lot of gothic fashion or stuff like that. I mean, they wear horror tees and stuff like that, but they're not, you know, wearing a lot of, you know, the gothic finery or anything like that.
Sure.
You know, and that's fine. And there's many shades of that. And then, like you say, there's, you know, people that are more colorful that are adjacent to it outside of it. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about just putting it out there. It's just, you never know. You really just never know where it's going to land, who it's going to reach. And, you know, just engaging with new people, you know, that you never would have had you not put it out there in the first place. Yeah, for sure. So let's talk Vincent Price for a second, because
I love Vincent Price.
You know, because he's my grandpa.
Yeah.
I'm his adopted granddaughter, as I'm sure he has many. many.
I love it.
And he loves to cook, and I love that. We've talked about him so many times, in just how just amazing of a person, and, you know, so multifaceted.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you yourself are extremely multifaceted in that sense. There are so many other things, you know, speaking of other interests and things that you're into. I know cooking is one of them. Where do you feel like you are with your cooking prowess? How have you evolved over the years to where you're at now in the kitchen?
It's gotten a lot better, and I've cleaned it over the years too. I've, you know, been on a quest because of my health and everything. I have a double organ transplant, and I've been through a lot because I was formerly diabetic, and that tore my ass up pretty bad. And I had to fight my way through that. And at times I'm surprised I got anything done because I was managing that.
Sure.
So I cleaned up my diet a lot too along the way. You probably know this better than I do. You know, what goes in is what you get out of it. You know, the better the ingredients are, the better out. And I was doing it to just really up my nutrition, but also you want to start with better quality things. But that requires thought and a little more money too. You know?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Magic water.
I love the product placement.
What? No, not like you'd want one of these, would you? Yes. They're in 3D. Did I mention that? They're in 3D.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
So it is definitely, I have stepped up my game along the way. A lot of it from watching things online. Prior to that, a lot of cooking shows on PBS. And then, like I say, you know, I had some, my mom and my grandmother could cook. I wasn't paying that much attention though when I was a kid, so much, and I don't do a lot of what they used to do because that was kind of old school anyway. And I like something that where I'm trying to up nutrition. Plus, I just like to do stuff that's just more bougie because you know I want to do that. It's like I love all the stuff that you put out there,
and you can. Why not? Yeah.
Every time you make something, you put out a video, I'm going, I'm coming to your house for dinner. I'm like, that looks great. I want to make some of that.
I have been getting cursed out in my DMs by so many people that are like, you know what? Okay. And I'm like, well,
I think we need to like rent a giant mansion for a weekend. You're going to cook for them. I will entertain. And then we'll just have everybody come and gather in some big spooky ass mansion. And then we'll have a ghost hunter. We can go on a ghost hunt. Or we can read some ghost stories or tell ghost stories. Yeah. And that's a weekend. How many of you guys would pay us for that? Huh?
Oh, I'm
in the chat.
I'm sure it would be.
I'm ready to do that. I think that would be great fun. And that would be a chance for us to commingle our talents. So
yeah.
That would be great. So to get to your question, I have stepped up along the way. I mean, when I was working in theme parks in the 80s, I ate a lot of ramen. Because it was not a big budget then, and I wanted something filling and fast. So like a college student, because that was about the age I was then when I was doing the park, ate a lot of ramen.
Yeah,
and then we would get together then several nights a week, and we would just get up and go out, and we went out to eat. It would be nicer. We need something better, because somebody else is making it. So why not?
I know it's always better when someone else is doing the cooking. Yeah.
I think always, always inevitably it just tastes better. I had a girlfriend who always told me I made great coffee in the morning for her. And I'm like, you just think it's better because I made it.
Right. Well,
I did make it kind of strong, and she liked that. But I'm just like, you just like it because you didn't have to make it. I'm like, it's fine. I don't mind. I'll make coffee for her all day long. But I was just like, I'm like, it only tastes better because someone else made it.
Well, that, and I also do believe that, I think you can give someone a recipe and it will come out different every time because of the person puts into it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm sure the coffee was delicious because you made it, but also the coffee was delicious because you made it. You know what I mean?
But,
like, it's
I
both.
Agreed. And no matter if it's something I'm making, from, fresh ingredients from scratch, or it's packaged food, I'm going to mess with it. I'm going to tweak that. I'm tweaking the recipe, or I'm adding to and leveling up whatever that thing might be out of my freezer. Because I can make it better.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So given that you've been on, a health journey and have started to cook better for yourself, what would you say then would be a guilty pleasure meal that you allow yourself to have?
I don't know. I guess I used to eat that more because I learned how to take the ramen and make that into Thai peanut noodles.
Yeah.
But I was, so I was using it for that, and that I liked a little bit better because I would just leave that horrible packet of death out of it, and then you're using actual real ingredients and things to season and flavor.
I'm just buying them for the noodles.
Right. And just basically that's it. I'm just using the noodles.
Yeah.
And then I was also adding, stir fry veggies into it as well to up the nutrition because I needed that. And then of course nothing's complete, as you well know, without some food confetti at the end. So then mincing up some of the scallion greens and some cilantro, and then food confetti it.
Yes.
And then it's great. Yeah. So it's kind of guilty because I don't eat it as nearly as much as I used to.
Okay.
But I still love ramen,
Right. Yeah. No, ramen's good. I think, it's definitely a go-to, but now that I know what I know about cooking, I could just make it. I don't need the packets. I don't need it. I just buy the noodles and I make the broth
and back in the day, that's how I made it. Back in when I was, cooking myself in the parks and stuff. I'm like, It was just boil it, pack it. That was it. I didn't do it.
Oh yeah.
Because I was always in a hurry, and I was
struggle
not
meal for sure
thinking enough about my nutrition, and I should have. Even then, I should have been thinking more about it. I was doing 5 shows a day plus managing all the shows in the park.
I mean,
I needed calories in me, because I would go out there and sweat out everything, in a show,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So let's see. So given that, okay, so ramen's on your list. Now let's say if your life was kind of like a buffet right now, like what would you say would be overflowing in the buffet and what would be missing?
Food-wise? Or
food-wise, just like metaphorically, kind of like if your life was a buffet table, what would be overflowing?
So we're talking like a dietary thing, like what is mostly on my buffet that I'm eating a lot?
Like your life buffet, the buffet of your life. So metaphorically, we're using
metaphorically speaking. Okay, right. All right. So, I didn't know if you were actually talking about just.
No, we're gonna get to that one in a bit. We'll get to the actual food question in a bit. But no, like I know it's a complicated question, but it's just been something that I've been wanting to ask people.
Like it because I like the buffet idea. I mean, I don't know why, but I immediately flashed to I performed at a club here in Chicago called the Dome Room.
Okay.
And I did, and you'll be amused at this, I did the bondage barbecue.
Okay. You got me hooked already.
I knew it. So the bondage barbecue, and I took someone and they wanted me to put them in the cremation, and I wore an apron, and then they handed me a giant, long brush.
Yeah.
And then I painted, when there's nothing left at the end but a smoldering skeleton, and I put sauce on the ribs. So that's how that came off the bondage barbecue.
That's funny.
But when I did that, they had when you say buffet, I immediately get this vision. They had a young lady who was not wearing very much. And you know how you place sushi on a model and they serve sushi that way? She had like cold cuts and sausage and stuff, like her innards were spilling out of her middle. And they put her on display like that, and people could go eat different pizza, cuts of the meat that were there. Somebody served them. And I get that vision of my life as a buffet kind of spelled out with Gutty Wuddies coming,
Yes, little bits and bobs hanging out.
Kind of like that. But I'm trying to think of how I can, I would say mostly on the buffet. Okay, here's the buffet right now. It's my book. I'm editing the damn book because I want it finished. I wanted to have it out last year. Didn't happen because I was still editing. But I'm very, very close to it.
It's getting there. Yes. I know.
Yeah. And a shout out to my
friend. You really have to tell yourself that you're getting there.
What's that?
It doesn't end though. Like when you're editing, when you're writing like that, and you're in the editing stages, like you really do have to tell yourself to pump the brakes sometimes and be like, okay, we're good. Let me move on, because it's really never really done.
No, I know. It seems like a never-ending process. I felt like I'd achieved something, and I was really good when we wrote the book because I spoke it out.
Yeah.
And then we took that and turned it into text files. Right. And some of those were huge, like 25,000 words. They were big. So we chunked them down.
Yeah.
And then I had to edit those. Yeah. And that's what's been taking forever.
Yeah.
And so that's why
the real meat and potatoes of the
book writing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so getting back to the buffet question, what's missing? What is missing on your buffet?
Everything else. Everything has been cleared. I mean, there's a little fortune cookie at the end of it. And that's it. That's my dessert. That's
right. Oh, it's one lonely little fortune cookie.
It's one lonely fortune cookie. It's covered in chocolate though, so it's
Oh,
good.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's a good one then. That's a good
It
one.
is. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a bougie little fortune cookie.
It's a bougie. Is it dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Oh, it's dark.
Okay.
Dark.
Just making sure.
Dark, bitter, like 95% cacao. It's dark and
How dark are we talking?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then
no, when the book is done, we're all gonna meet. We're all gonna go. We're gonna meet in Vegas and have one of those giant. They have something. One of the hotels or somebody has a flaming skull. It's a giant chocolate skull with a little painted with a little gold, edible gold, and they set the damn thing on fire at your table. That's that. I want that.
There you go.
As my reward when I'm done with the damn book.
Indeed. Very, very nice. Very nice. Well, but you're getting there. So do you have kind of an idea of when you think the book is going to be ready? Would it be within 2026 or you're thinking 2027?
Oh yeah. I want it. I want it done and out. So you lovely people can enjoy it and I can purge it from me. I'm ready to go pimp the book out.
Yeah.
And I'm more excited about that even now than I am about writing it. I mean, I know the story. I lived it. I've got to make it good for a reader. For the people who are going to read it, I got to do it good. And I'm already set up to do the audiobook as well because I consume a lot of audiobooks. So I'm going to read it for the audiobook. And that's another whole thing I've got to do when that's done. But I know just for people, like myself, they have, that their orbs are jacked up a bit.
Yeah.
As you can tell.
Yeah. Just a
little bit. So that I like to have the same thing,
just a bit.
For my, for readers, for listeners. And some people go back and forth too. So they'll do a bit of both. They'll read and listen to some of it, or consume one or both. I mean, because the thing of it is, you can't get in the audiobook are the photos, and I've got a lot of photo assets, a lot of photo content for the book.
Yeah.
So people are going to want, either the ebook to go with it or the hardcover to, the actual book to print to go with it because there's going to be a lot of cool photos over the years.
So you're thinking so the book itself you're thinking sometime at the end of this year?
I want to launch in spooky season. That is the plan.
Okay. Groovy. Well, that sounds I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I know that you've got a lot planned as far as the different reveals that you're doing for the book and taking people along the way.
Yeah, I have, and I'm thinking about book launches already and all that stuff. And I'm like, I can't. It's hard for me to concentrate on anything else when I'm spending just
every waking moment on this.
I've got some other things I've got to get done and I got to do and a show here and there. But I've even not taken on a lot of things on the road, other opportunities, because I just want to finish the book and put it out because that then I can roll that out.
Yeah.
In its own thing, and we're doing more things like this, and then doing other television and many other opportunities and some events.
I mean, the floodgates are really going to open for you with that.
I think so. I'm a lot of people come and gone and seen bits of my career, but they have no idea of the whole thing, and that's part of why. I mean, and I think a lot of people are like that, but I mean, people don't know me, in a by and large way. Some people know me from some horror films. Most know me from being an illusionist because I've always done that. And that's what later led me into acting in horror films. So I think it'll be interesting for people to take that ride and see, what all I've done and what I had to do to make that happen. Well, alongside of that, while my health was on fire at times, having to work through that, I always wanted to kind of compartmentalize it. I always wanted to just do what I had to do.
Yeah.
Anything to get my ass back on a stage or in front of a camera to do my thing. Yeah.
Right. Where you belong.
What kept me going. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, if you could describe yourself as a 3-course meal for us, an appetizer, entree, and dessert, what would you be and why?
Wow. I can describe it in terms of my show. How's that?
Yes.
The appetizer would be me eating razor blades because it's just fun. And I can do whatever the hell I want when I open with that.
Right.
Which is why it's usually right up in the front of the show.
Yeah. Give people a literal taste. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Give people a literal taste. Yeah.
A literal. Yeah. I mean, because it's the first thing that came out when you said like appetizer. I'm like, oh yeah, definitely razor blade. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very
main
nice.
course would be some of the bigger things. The
so
illusions,
then
like,
your entree.
Maybe the castle illusion. There's nothing finer than chaining somebody up and in a castle and chopping them into many pieces and then bringing them back. That's fun. Or making that ball float around because everybody loves that thing.
So would that be a twofer? Is that a 2-for-1?
They can be. Sometimes they're close together in the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It would be, or think of it, if it were food, it would be, the ball would be like almost the food confetti. It would be the cherry on top.
Sure.
How's that?
Yeah.
Kind of.
So is that so?
Or an olive, a big silver, chunky.
Big silver olive in a giant martini. Okay. So then would that be the dessert or do you have a dessert?
No, the dessert then would be the cremation at the end of the show, like I did at the Bondage Barbecue. Because it's kind of like, I don't know, bananas Foster or something flambe or what else do you set on fire?
Like you said, the flaming
Vegas,
skull, the flaming
chocolate skull in Vegas. You're going to set dessert on fire before you have it. Yeah. Baked Alaska, I think that's another one. Don't they light that on fire?
Yeah, they do. There you go. Yeah. Very nice.
That would be my show as a 3-course meal.
It. Yeah, no, because it gets my brain spinning about like how I would turn those metaphors into actual food, like what entrees, like what those actually become, which is kind of like a realm that I'm kind of in right now. Like I'm actually working on something with a friend where I'm going to recite an incantation that is kind of like a spoken word food incantation, and he's going to take that incantation and create an art piece from what I say. So
I love it.
Not necessarily like food, but he's going to take what I say and then create whatever his heart desires from what he hears. So I'm kind of in that territory of like, okay, so how would I take the razor blades and like what would I make? Like, how would I recreate that as a food? How would I recreate the castle with the drawbridge as an entree? How would I create that as a dessert? So now I'm like,
well, my friend Darlene, she baked and she baked fabulously. And she figured out, she got like a castle. It was like a bunt castle.
Okay.
But she made me an absinthe castle cake for my birthday. Freaking amazing. Yeah, because then she took
Did it give you a buzz
to make a glaze for it. Oh man. And then of course I love absinthe. So I was serving that. I was making them and lighting the sugar cubes for everybody. And so I served absinthe with dessert and the cake. It was a great time. But she was a genius to make that freaking cake.
Yeah,
I haven't had one in a while. She has moved to Europe because she's smart. And
a lot of people.
So I haven't got one of those for a while.
Yeah. Okay, so then you couldn't really tell if you got a buzz off of the cake itself because you served absinthe with the cake.
Yes.
Right. So
I mean, there was a small bit of actual where nothing was cooked out to make the glaze.
Yeah.
It was like actual absinthe in it with the sugar and everything, the way you make a glaze.
Yeah.
Which is great. So you got an actual taste of the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's not enough to get you schnockered.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or get you to see the green fairy. You need the drink to go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I was mixing and serving, because that's a bit of alchemy. And that goes back to like 1900 and Paris with all those cool artists that were the Moulin Rouge and everything. And they were sucking down a lot of absinthe. So
yeah, they were.
It's kind of the artist's drink. That's why it has that mystique. When I made it in my movie Dark Realm, which you can see on Amazon Prime Video. I know how we all feel about Amazon.
Do it.
But
Just
you can
whatever,
go there
who
and
cares?
watch the movie. And it's got my illusion show in it if you want to see it, and it's got a horror narrative. So it's an actual horror movie with real magic in it and illusion. And in that, there's an absinthe. Everybody is so crazy about absinthe. I wrote an absinthe scene for the movie. And when I made that, when we shot that for the movie on set, all these people had heard about absinthe, but the cast and the crew, they'd never had it.
Never had it.
So I was making absinthe for everybody. Oh yeah, I got the whole cast and crew schnockered that day.
Yeah.
It was a good thing it was after shooting the scene, because some of them had a bit much.
I was gonna say, like, that would have been the perfect lead in to film the scene if everyone was kind of buzzed on absinthe, and then just really see how
I kind of like we should have shot that again then afterwards to the behind the scenes stuff once everybody was schnockered on absinthe. Because it was just really fun. But it's like, that's what I loved about it. That's the kind of mystique that drink, that alcohol has.
Yes.
That people are there's just, and it's green, and talking about the green fairy, and it's hallucinogenic, mildly hallucinogenic properties, and people are fascinated, intrigued by that, and it just kind of has its own mystique about it.
And, well, definitely because of the whole altered state thing, like, again, like, what's it going to do to me? Am I going to get buzzed? Am I going to, like, see things and hallucinate?
Is it like the mushroom gummies? Or are you microdosing? I mean, what is going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we wrap things up, let's go back.
We got to wrap things up? No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, going back to the fortune cookie, your chocolate covered fortune cookie, if you were to crack that thing open, what would your fortune, or what would you like your fortune to say?
The fortune cookie, the message would be, you ran the gauntlet and you won. Yeah.
Nice.
That would be the fortune.
Yeah.
Because I'm still here.
Love it.
There's many points I could have taken an exit ramp. In fact, I think I was offered one by the Reaper, him or herself. That story's in the book as well. So you got to read the book for that.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what it would say. I think that's what it would say. I've been feeling a lot of that. I mean, because that's the thing. And that's also something else that I think made the edit for me in a writing a memoir takes so damn long, was I'm going back and I have to process my own life in a way where I can, put it out there so you can read about it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to you. And then everybody's like, you can't put everything in it, and you can't. If I'm going to write a 300-page book, I can't put it all in there. So there has to be a lot of thought into what stories go in and what makes the story arc, and so then you get to the end of the book, and it's like, how do you wrap that up? And it's like, and that's been the feeling that I've had, is just kind of like, well, I ran the goddamn gauntlet and I won, Yeah. I got to hang out.
I love it. I mean, it's the perfect way to phrase it and frame it, because at this point, especially where we're at in life, like we really have run one hell of a marathon, and we did it, we made it, and you know what? We're still going.
Well, we all have our own challenges and things. Yes. You are no different, and that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm like, if I can do this, some of it, horrific. Well, I got to do great things with my art. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it,
Yes.
And we all do have our challenges. I mean, I think that's the thing that's kind of universal about stories like that, is that, you want to come out at the end going, then you feel, hopefully uplifted, like, that was a weird ride, and, makes you feel positive at the end of it.
Yeah.
And so there's that, through it all, because you want to leave them in a good place.
Yeah. That you persevered, you did it in spite of everything.
Right. There is a, as I go back and look at, like, especially my life in the 90s, I got a lot done And that was when my health was really, just burning to the ground for like an entire decade. It was one thing after another, ending in a double organ transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at that and I'm like, I don't know how I got any of that done.
Right.
I mean, it's looking back and having to talk about it then. I was just kind of, I was surprised myself. I'm like, oh, wow, I did a lot in that decade.
Yeah. I think it's easy to forget, like how, not only like what we went through, but how we went through it, how we got through it, and where we are now in hindsight, because now you can turn around and look back and see, really how far you've come.
Yeah. I mean, it's not until you go back and take inventory and think about it, because you kind of process it at the time.
Yeah.
And then you moved on, you know? So to go back and then process not bits of it, but all of it, it's like, it makes your brain boil.
Yeah. It sure does. And then you go and you take all that and you make some pastry dough and you make a meat pie. Like
that's right. Thank you, Mrs. Lovett. Oh yes. Meat pies.
The mystery meat. We're back to that.
I'll have the priest. Thank you.
Yes. Find us in the shop.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so where can everyone find
presidential meat pie? Did I hear that? Anywhere? Yes. Going once, going twice. Okay. Thank you.
Indeed. Yes. So let the people know. So so your film, which one of your films is on Amazon? You have the Dark Realm.
Dark Realm is on Amazon.
Okay.
You can see my first movie that actually went to Sundance. Called The Item. That's actually on YouTube. It's in a playlist of some of my movie projects and trailers and things. It's on my YouTube. So go to my YouTube, please subscribe.
Yes.
And go down. There's a whole playlist I made for you that's all acting projects and things like that. So that's all in there. And you can find the whole movie of The Item is bang right there. There's a couple shorts films in there as well, but like a full feature that went to Sundance. Super weird ride. Be warned. I'd be happy you'll like it. The nice people at Sundance describe The Item as, and I quote, Quentin Tarantino on acid.
Nice.
And that's what you'll get.
There you go.
It does deliver on that.
So be prepared.
Yeah. It was written and directed by my friend Dan Clark. Yeah.
Okay.
And he acts in it as well. He's one of the actors.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Wonderful.
So there's that. Is there Dark Realm on Amazon? Magus is really good. Somebody dropped into the comments on the Magus trailer and said they saw it, but they didn't tell me where. So if you look on their different streaming I checked Tubi not long ago. I didn't find it. But it's on a streaming platform somewhere. Somebody just saw it.
Okay. Well, that's a Scooby-Doo mystery we need to solve then. We need to
find it. That's your homework, everybody. Go find Magus. Magus.
Assignment.
Written and directed by John Lachago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Groovy. Wonderful. And then your website, right?
Website, Fitzgerald'sRealm.com, my home on the internet. You can go there, read a lot more about me. There's some more photos, other things,
Grab your merch, right?
Merch is there in the store. In the store, not like we have merch or anything.
Being mesmerized. I'm going to hypnotize you. Yes.
I told you I'm more excited to go pimp out the book than I am writing the damn thing. I do enjoy writing it, but I'll be happier when I can just
when it's done. Yeah.
Go roll around in a hearse across the country and go, hey, you want a book?
Yep.
What a weird story.
Well, yeah,
I want to go on that tour. I want to go set up the tour and go do bookstores and things like that too. And I think that will be fun. I can go.
Yeah. Well, because then you
go to
could
Barnes
really
and Noble and eat some razor blades for people in there. I'm like, there's actually a whole lot of like cool, like niche, spooky bookstores and spooky, spooky merch stores.
There are a lot.
I want to roll around and go to those as well.
Oh, you'll be rolling around the boneyard for sure. That's for sure.
I definitely
have no doubt.
Well, you got one out there by you, right? Is that?
Well, You know,
out in LA,
there are
there's
a lot
one. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but I know there's one
there
out
was
there.
one called Dark Delicacies in
I
Burbank
think
that
that's
closed.
it. Yeah.
They closed. They're
Oh,
done.
did
They're
they?
no
Are they
longer.
done?
Yeah, they closed last year to my dismay and the dismay of many.
That's
Because that was a really
unfortunate.
great
Yeah, because it
place.
looked really cool, and I'd
It
only
was.
seen
I
it
mean, it
online.
really was a good forum for like local artists and writers and,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of go in and meet some of your favorite, comic book artists and, authors and stuff like that. And they really kind of were very well-rounded in the kind of dark and spooky stuff that they sold in their shop. It was very diversified. So it was really kind of like a cute little hub for us, ghoulies, gals and ghouls out there, which sadly is no longer here. But there are some other kind of iterations of it popping up in different places.
That's good. And we've got several around here in the Chicagoland area as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
I
have no doubt that you're gonna fall right into the places you're supposed to be with it. So very exciting.
I'll get my AI assistant on looking at the list of those. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the list is
long. My evil robot assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I know, right? Doesn't everybody have one by now? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe
not yet. Anyway, we're getting.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and I do. Before we get out of here, since we're talking food, I have to mention my favorite pizza. I think it's the best pizza in the entire known universe. Aurelio's here in Chicago. That now is Pope approved pizza. The Pope was Aurelio's. So I'm just saying that, I don't have a big funny hat, but I still am. I'm throwing down for Aurelio's. I'm just saying.
There you go. And we end on a high note with pizza.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I'm from Chicago. I cannot talk about food without
mentioning
pizza, but specifically Aurelio's.
All right. Chicago. Well, I'm gonna put them in the captions of stuff.
You get your butt out here. I am getting you pizza. I'm taking you to Aurelio's.
Yes. Talk about painting the town red. Forget it.
Oh, there'll be blood and razor blades and pizza. Yeah.
They'll never know what hit them. That's for sure.
No. Clearly not. Clearly not.
Well, I look forward to that day.
They're going to take one look at us and go, oh, yeah, they're trouble. Yeah.
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 Indeed. You might just see us on the news, but that's okay. I'll be prepared.
Come on down.
Yes.
Have you been to Chicago?
Thank you. Listen, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me tonight. And
always, you did the same for me. We talked about your book. Tell them about your book. Yeah.
My book. Well, I mean, she's still going. She's going well. She's traveling.
Perfect.
Yes, good. She's doing good things. So I think, as we progress with the year, you'll be seeing me do some things that, I'm not ready to reveal just yet, but there's a lot going on.
Oh, good. No, I'm excited. Yeah. That's excellent.
So, yes.
Well, I love having, another friend that's a bougie, published author. That's just awesome. Yeah.
I'm something.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe boozy.
Oh, no, you are awesome, woman. You are totally awesome, Nikki.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching and hanging out with us. And we will see you in the next one. Meow, meow.
Hello.
Bye-bye. Meow, meow.
You've been listening to the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast with your host and producer, Chef Nikki Meow. Kick-ass music by 3 Parts Acid. Follow 3 Parts Acid at 3 Parts Acid on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. The amazing artwork by Art by Bruce 13. Follow Art by Bruce 13 on Instagram. And I'm your voice with the most. I'm Jason Neer. This has been the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast, copyright 2026. See you next time, kids.